Slow told moon wanes.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moonlight to a silver bow bent in heaven shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Fill it straight. Serve the Athenian commandments. Awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth.
Awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth.
Happy Theseus, all renowned.
Thanks, good Aegis. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation, come I, with the plan to eat my child, my daughter, Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, and my noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke. This hath put to the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes, and interchanged love tokens with my child. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due to me, stubborn harshness. And my gracious duke, be it so she will not hear to consent to marry with Demetrius, I beg the ancient village of Athens to dispose of her, either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law.
And what say you, Hermia? Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be outworthy.
I would my father look but with my eyes.
Rather, your eyes must with fit judgment look.
I do entreat your grace to pardon me, but I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case, if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death, or to abjure forever in the society of men.
Fair Hermia, question your desires. Know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun. For I to be in shady cloister mute, live a barren sister all your life, chanting faint hymns to the cold, fruitless moon. So will I live, so grow, so die, my lord, ere I will yield unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty.
Take time to talk, and by the next new moon, sealing day twixt my love and me. Upon that day, either prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius as he would, or protest for austerity in single life.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy crazy title to my certain right.
You have our father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermes. Do you marry him?
Scornful boy, Lysander. True, he hath my love, and what is mine, my love shall render him. And she is mine, and all my right of her I do estate unto Demetrius.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than this, wit is more than all these boasts can be. I am beloved of the beauteous Hermia. Why should not then I prosecute my right? Demetrius, I'll vouch it to his head, and Helen won her soul, and she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes in idolatry upon this spotted and inconsistent man.
I must confess, I have heard so much, but being overfull of self-affairs, my mind did lose it. But for you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up to death or to a vow of single life. Come, I apologize. Demetrius and Aegis, go along. I must confer with you on something that's merely concerns yourselves.
Now, my lord, why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses dare your fate so fast?
Belike for want of rain, which I could well beteem them from the tempest of my eyes.
I mean, for aught that I could ever read, or hear by tell or history, the course of true love never did run smooth, but either it was different in blood,
Oh, cross, too high to be enthralled to low.
or else misgrafted in respective
Oh,
years,
spite, too old to be engaged to young.
or merit stood upon the choice of friends.
Oh, hell, to choose love by another's eyes.
Or, if there were sympathy in choice, war, death, or sickness, did they see to it, make it as momentary as a sound, as swift as a shadow, as short as any dream. So quick, bright things come to confusion.
If then true lovers have ever been crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny, a customary cross, as due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs.
A good persuasion. Therefore, hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, and she hath no child. From Athens is her house remote, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee, and to that place the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou love me then, do forth thy father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood, a league without the town, where I did meet thee once with Helena, to do observance of the morn of May. There I will stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee by Cupid's strongest bow, by all the vows that ever men have broke, in number more than ever women spoke. Tomorrow truly will I meet thee.
Keep promise, love. Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Whither away?
Call you me fair? That fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair. Sickness is catching your favor, so yours I would catch, fair Hermia, ere I go. Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius' heart.
I frown upon him, yet he loves me still.
Oh, that your frowns can teach my smile such skill.
I give him curses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my prayers could such affection move.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty, would that fault were mine.
Take comfort. He no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place.
Helen, to our minds we will unfold. Tomorrow night, a time the lover's light doth so conceal. Through Athens' gates we have devised to steal.
And in the wood there Lysander and myself shall meet, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes to seek new friends and stranger companies. Farewell, sweet playfellow. Pray thou for us, and good luck grant thee thy Demetrius. Keep word, Lysander. We must starve our sight from lovers' food till morrow deep midnight.
I will, my Hermia. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dote on you.
How happy some over others some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore winged Cupid is painted blind. Ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he held on oaths that he was only mine. I will tell him of fair Hermia's flight, then to the wood he will tomorrow night pursue her, and for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense, but herein I mean to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Are we all met?
You're best to call him general, man by man, according to the script.
Here is the scroll of every man's name which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good PQNs.
Quince.
Say what the play treats on, then read the names of your actors, and so grow to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy, and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisby.
A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good PQNs,
Quince.
call forth your actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom, the Weaver.
Ready. Name what part I am for, and proceed.
Nick Bottom, you are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover, a tyrant.
A lover that kills himself, most gallant for love.
That will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure to the rest. Yet, my chief humor is for a tyrant. I can play Hercules rarely, to make all spilt. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and famous far shall shine from far, and make and mar the foolish fates. This was lofty. Now, name the rest of the players. This is Hercules' fate, a tyrant's fate. A lover is more condoling.
Francis Flute, the bellows mender.
Here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisby on you.
What is Thisby? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
They do not play a woman. I am a beer dummy.
That's all one. You shall play in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisby too! I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Oh, Thisby, my dear. Oh, Pyramus, my lover, dear, my lover.
No! No! you must play Pyramus, and flute, you, Thisby.
Well, proceed.
Robin Starveling, the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
Robin Starveling, you must play Thisby's mother. Tom Snout, the tinker.
Oh, here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus's father. Myself, Thisby's father. Snug the joiner, you the lion's part. And I hope here is a play fitting.
Have you the lion's part written? Pray you, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but the roaring.
Let me play the lion too! I will roar, but I'll do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar, but the Duke shall say, let him roar again! Let him roar again! Roar!
You should do it too terribly. You would fright the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
That would hang us.
Every mother's son.
I grant you, friends. If you should fright the ladies out of their wits, they'd have no more discretion but to hang us. I will aggravate my voice as gently as any suckling dove. I will roar you as if I were a nightingale.
You play no part, but Pyramus! For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man as one shall see in a summer's day, a most lovely, gentleman-like man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it.
Masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to come them by tomorrow night, and meet me in the palace wood a mile without town, by moonlight. There shall we rehearse. For, if we meet in the city, we shall be dogged with company, and our devices known! In the meantime, I shall draw up a bill of properties, such as our play wants. I pray you, fail me not. At the Duke's Oak we meet!
All her elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his rebels here tonight. Take heed the queen, come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing fell and wrath. For she, as her attendant, hath a lovely boy, stole it from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling, but jealous Oberon would have the child, nigh to his train, and trace the forest wild. But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowds him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or spangled starlight sheen, but they do square that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shade in making plight, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are not you he
that frights the minions of the villagery?
That hobgoblin call you?
And sweet Puck, are not you he?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile. A merrier hour was never wasted there. Ooh. But room, Savvy,
by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous Oberon? Fairies, get hence! I have forsworn his bed and company.
Carry! Rash! Wanton! Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But why art thou here, come from the farthest step of India, but that forsooth the bouncing Amazon, your buskin mistress and warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How can thou thus, for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love for Theseus?
These are the forgeries of jealousy. And never since the middle summer spring met we on hill, in dale, forest, or mead, by paved fountain or by rushing brook, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the wind, piping to us in vain as in revenge, has sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land have every pelting river made so proud they have overborne their continent. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain, the plowman hath lost his sweat, and the green corn rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and the crows are fatted with the murrian flock, and the 9 men's morris is filled up with mud. And the quaint mazes in the wanton green for lack of tread are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter cheer. No night is now with hymn or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air that rheumatic diseases do abound. And through this distemperature we see the seasons alter. Hoary-headed frost fall in the fresh lap of the crimson rose. And on old time's thin and icy crown, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds is, as in mockery set, the spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world by their increase knows not which is which. This same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me. His mother was a votress of my order. Full often has she gossiped by my side and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up the boy. And for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within these woods until you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will dance in our rounds and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I'll spare your hunts.
Give me the boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies away! Will chide down right if I longer stay.
Will go thy way! Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. Gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering dulcet and harmonious breath.
I remember.
That very time I saw Cupid all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal thrown by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow. Marked I where the bolt of Cupid lay, upon a little western flower, once milk white, now purple with love's wound. The juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid will make of man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees.
Fetch me this herb!
I'll put a girdle about here in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she sleeps, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing she waking looks upon, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, I'll make her render up her page to me.
I will not say thy question.
But who comes here? I will overhear their conference. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not.
Where is Lysander, fair Hermia, the one I'll slayeth, the other slayeth me? Thou told me they were stolen unto this wood. Hence, get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not, nor I cannot, love you?
And even for that, I do love you the more. I am your spaniel. The more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me. Only give me leave, unworthy as I am to follow you. What worser place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
I am sick when I look not on you.
I'll run from thee and hide me in the brakes, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will. The story will be changed. The dog pursues the griffin. Cowardice pursues the butterfly.
Let me go! If thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood!
Aye. In the temple, the town, the field, you do me mischief. Oh, fight, Demetrius! Women cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wooed, and we're not made to woo. I'll follow thee, make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well, Demetrius!
Fare thee well, gentle nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall pursue thy love. Hast thou the flower there, welcome wanderer?
Aye, there it is. Ah. Aha! Woo!
I pray thee, give it me! I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where the oxlip and nodding violet grows. There sleeps Titania sometime of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes, make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it, and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it where the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know him by the Athenian garments he hath on. Look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
Come now, roundel in a fairy song. Sing me now to sleep, then to your offices and let me rest.
Spotted snakes with double tongue, thorny hedgehogs, be not seen.
Newton violins do no wrong. Come not near our fairy queen.
Fill me with melody and sing in our sweet lullaby. La 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 lullaby, la 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 lullaby.
Never harm, nor spell, nor charm. Come our lovely lady nigh, so good night with lullaby.
Weaving spiders, come not here. Hence, you long-legged spinners, hence!
Beetles black approach not near, worm nor snail do no offense. Fill me with melody
And sing in our sweet lullaby.
La 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 lullaby.
La 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 lullaby.
Never harm nor spell nor charm.
Come our lovely lady nigh.
So good night with lullaby.
Hence away, now all is well.
One elusive sentinel.
thou see when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake. In thy eye that shall appear, when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Fair love, you fainted wandering in the wood, and to speak truth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest this, Hermia, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head. And good night, sweet friend. Thy love never alter till thy sweet life end.
Amen, amen, to that fair prayer say I. End life when I end loyalty. Here's my bed, sleep, give thee all its rest.
With half that wish, the wisher's eyes be pressed.
Through the forest have I gone. But Athenian found I none. Night and silence. Who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he, my master said, despised the Athenian maid. And here the maiden, sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Sure, upon thy eyes I throw all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So wake when I am gone. Oh, for I must now to Oberon.
Say, wilt thou kill me, sweet Demetrius?
I charge thee hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, will thou darkly leave me? Do not so.
Stay on thy peril. I alone will go.
Oh, I am out of breath. This fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser my grace. Happy is Hermia, wheresoe'er she lies. She hath blessed and attractive eyes. How came her eyes so bright? Not with salt tears, if so my eyes are oftener washed than hers. And who is here? Lysander on the ground? Dead? Or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake!
And run through fire over thy sweet sake, transparent Helena. Nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where's Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Do not say so, Lysander. Say not so. What though he loves your Hermia? Lord, what though yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No. I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena, I love. Who will not change a raven for a dove? The will of man is by reason swayed, and reason says you are the worthier maid. And leads me to your eyes where o'erlook love's stories written in love's richest book.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? It is not enough, young man, that I did never, nor never can deserve a sweet look from Demetrius' eye, but you must flout my insufficiency? Fare you well, perforce, I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia sleeped out there, and never may thou come Lysander, for as a serpent of the sweetest things, the deepest loathing to the stomach brings. So thou, my serpent, of all we hated, but of the most of me, in all my love and might, address Helen's love to be her knight.
Help me! Lysander, help me! Ay me, for pity, what a dream was here. Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Methought a serpent ate my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander? What, removed? Lysander? Lord? What, out of hearing gone? No sound, no word? Alack, where are you? Speak, and if you hear, speak of all loves. I swoon almost with fear. No? Then I well perceive you are not nigh. Either death or you I'll find immediately.
Are we all met? Hat!
Here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage. We will do it in action as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince.
Quince! What sayst thou, bully Botham?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisby that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By lake in our parlous fear.
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a whit. I have advice to make our will. Write me a prologue, and let it seem to say you'll do no harm with our swords. And for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver.
Well,
This will put them in fear.
well, you'll have such a prologue.
Will not the ladies be afraid of the lion?
I fear it, I promise you.
Masters, you ought to consider yourselves. To bring in, God shield us, a lion among ladies is the most dreadful thing. There's not a more fearful wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Therefore, another prologue must tell he is not the lion.
Nay, you must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck. And he must speak through it, saying thus, or to the same effect, ladies, or fair ladies, I would entreat you, or I would request you, not to fear, not to tremble, my life for yours. If you think I come hither as a lion, it were a pity of my life. No, I am a man, as other men are. And then indeed, let him name his name, and tell them plainly, he is Snub the Joiner.
Well, it shall be so. But there's two hard things. That is, to bring the moonlight into a chamber. For you know, Pyramus and Thisby did meet by moonlight.
One must come in with a bush of thorns and a lantern, and say he comes to disfigure, or to present, the person of moonshine.
Then there is another thing. We must have a wall in the great chamber. For Pyramus and Thisby, says the story, did talk through the chink of a wall.
We can never bring in a wall. What say you, Bottom?
One must come in to present wall, and then have some loam, or some rough cast, or some plaster about him, to represent wall. And then hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisby whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you have spoken your speech, enter into that break, and so everyone, according to his cue.
What hasten homespuns have we swaggering here? So near the cradle of the fairy queen. What? A play tour? I'll be an auditor. An actor too, perhaps, if I see cause.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisby, stand forth.
Thisby, the flowers of odious savor sweet.
Odorous!
Odorous. Odors, savor sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisby dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by and by to thee I will appear.
A stranger Pyramus than ever played there.
Must I speak now?
Aye, marry must you. For you must understand he goes but to see a voice that he heard, and is to come again.
Most radiant, pure.
Abba!
Most lily white of hue, of color like the red rose on triumphant briar.
Briar.
Briar. Most crisply juvenile and ike most lovely Jew, as truest horse that yet would never tire. How he be Pyramus had knees to
Ninus' tomb! Why, you must not speak that yet. That you answer to Pyramus. You speak all your lines at once, cues and all. Pyramus, enter! Your cue is past! It is never tire.
Oh, as truest horse that yet would never tire.
If I were fair Thisby, I would only die.
Oh, monstrous! Oh, strange! We are haunted! Pray, masters! Fly, masters, help!
I'll follow you. I'll lead you about and round, through bog, through bush, through brake, through briar, and nag, and bark, and burr at every turn.
Why did they run away? This is a knavery of them, to make me afeard.
Oh, bottom, thou art changed. What do I see on thee?
What do you see? You see an ass's head of your own, do you?
Bless thee, bottom, bless thee. Thou art translated.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me. To frighten me if they could. But I will not stir from this place. Do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing, so that they will know I'm not afraid. The oustel cocks are black of hue, with orange and tawny bill. The throstle with his notes are true, the wren with a little quill.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, when the block, the place, on the gray, whose notes for many a man's off mark. And there's not answer, eh?
Pray thee, gentle mortals, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note, so is mine eye enthralled to thy shape. And thy fair virtues, force perforce, doth move me on first view to say, to swear, I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. Then again, reason and love keep little company together nowadays. The more's the pity that some honest neighbors cannot make them friends. Nay, I can gleek upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither. But if I'd enough wit to get out of this wood, I'd have enough to serve mine own turn.
Out of this wood, not desire to go! Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. For I do love thee, therefore go with me. And I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and I will purge thy mortal grossness, so that thou shalt like an airy spirit go. Peas, blossom, cobweb, dewdrop, mustard seed, ready.
And I,
And I.
where shall we go?
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman. Hop in his walks and gambol in his eyes. Feed him with apricots and dewberries and pluck the wings from painted butterflies to fan the moonbeams from his sleeping eyes. Nod to him, elves, and do him courtesies.
Hail, mortal. Hail. Hail. Hail.
Come, fairies, lead him to my bower.
The oustel cocks are black of hue, with horns and tawny bill. The throstle with his notes are true, the wren with a little quill.
Tie up my love's tie. Bring him silently.
Giddy up.
I wonder if Titania be awaked. Then what it was that next came in her eye, which she must dote on in all extremity. Here comes the messenger now. How now, mad spirits, what night rule now about this haunted grove?
My mistress with a monster is in love! Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her rehearse a play intended for great Theseus' nuptial day, the shallowest sexton of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his scene and entered hard break. I did him at this advantage take, and as his snow I fixed on his head, and on his Thisby must be answered. And forth my mimic come, when they him spy, so at his sight away his fellows fly. I led them on this distracted fear, and their sweet Pyramus translated there, when at that moment. So it came to pass, Titania went and straightway loved and asked.
This falls out better than I can devise, but hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes with the love juice as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping, that is finished too, with the Athenian lady at his side that, of course, she must be eyed.
Stand close, this is the same Athenian.
Ah, this is the woman, but not this the man.
Oh, I rebuke you, him who loves you so. Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
Now I but chide, but I should use thee worse, for thou, I fear, hast given me cause to curse. If thou hast slain Lysander in his sleep, be nor his shoes in blood, plunge in the deep, and kill me too! The sun was not so true unto the day as he to me. It cannot be, but thou hast murdered him! So should a murderer look, so dead, so grim.
So should the murdered look, and so should I, pierced through the heart with your stern cruelty.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Ah, good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I'd rather give his carcass to my hounds.
Hast thou slain him then? Henceforth be never numbered among men.
You spend your passion on a misprized mood. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell.
I pray thee, tell me then that he is well.
And if I could, what should I get there for?
A privilege never to see me more, and from thy hated presence part I so. See me no more, whether he be dead or no.
There is no following her in this fierce maid. Here, therefore, for a while, I will remain.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love sight. About the wood, go swifter than the wind. Helena of Athens wilt thou find. By some illusion see thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear.
I go! Look, I go! Swifter than arrow from the Tartar's bow!
Flower of this purple dye, sink an apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is her at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Then will two at once woo one? That needs be sport alone, and these things do best please me, that befall preposterously.
Why should you think that I won't scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep. How can these things in me seem scorn to you?
These vows are Hermia! Will you give her o'er?
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind, now you give her o'er!
Demetrius loves her, he loves not you.
Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. To what by love shall I compare thine eye? Crystal is muddy, oh how ripe in show. Thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh, spite. Oh, hell. I see you all are bent. To set against me for your merriment? If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do, but you must join in souls to mock me too? If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so. You are both rivals and love Hermia. Now you are both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise. To conjure up tears in a poor maid's eyes.
You're unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know, and I know. And here, with all goodwill, with all my heart, I yield you Hermia's love up on my part. And yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do love and will do till my death.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia. I will not. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to Helen is at home returned, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Disparage not the fate thou dost not know. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, hound. Mine ear, I think it brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly didst thou leave me so?
Why should he stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, they would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more in guilt of night than all yon fiery oaths and eyes of light. Why seek thou me? Couldst not this make thee know the hate I bore thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be!
Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive it, who joined all three, to fashion in this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, have you not with these contrived to bait me in this foul derision? Is all the counsel we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours we have spent, oh, is all forgot?
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander in scorn to follow me and praise my eyes and face? And made your other love, Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare? Wherefore speaks he to this her he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love, so enrich within his soul? Tender me, forsooth affection, but by your setting on, by your consent.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do persever counterfeit sad looks make mouths upon me when I turn mad back. Wink each other, hold the sweet jest up. If you had any pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But very well.
Stay, gentle Helena. Hear my excuse, my love, my life, my soul for Helena.
Oh, excellent. Scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more than strength than her weak prayers. Helen, I love thee by my life, I do.
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say so, withdraw, prove it too.
Quick, come.
Lysander, where to tend all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird.
No, so yield, seem to break loose. Take on as it would follow, but yet come not. You're a tame man. Go.
Vile thing, let loose, or I'll shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love? Out, load medicine, hated potion, hence.
Do you not jest?
Yes, sooth and so do you.
Demetrius, I'll keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What? Should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead? Although I hate her, I will not harm her so.
What? Can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me? Wherefore? Oh me, what news, my love? Am not I Hermia? Are not you Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Why then you left me, oh the gods forbid, in earnest shall I say?
I, by my life, and never did a desire to see thee more. Therefore, be out of hope, of question, of doubt, be certain, 'tis no jest that I do hate thee, and love Helena.
Oh, me! You juggler! You canker blossom! You thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Fine in faith. Have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What will you care impatient answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you.
Puppet? Why so? Aye, that we coast the game. Now I perceive she hath made compare between our statures. She hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem, because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak! I am not yet so low, but that my nails can reach unto thine eye!
Hey, you gentlemen! Though you mock me, let her not hurt me. I was never cursed and had no gift at all in shrewishness. Let her not strike me. You perhaps may think because she is something lower than myself that I could match her.
Lower her again!
Good Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I ever more to love you, did ever keep your counsel, and now so you will let me quietly go to Athens, I will bear my folly back and follow you no further.
Oh, why get you gone? Who is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius!
Be not afraid. She shall not harm thee, Helena.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take a part.
When she's angry, she's keen and shrewd. Though she is but little, she is fierce.
Little again? Nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flout me thus? Let me come to her!
Get you gone, you dwarf, you bee, you minimus, you acorn. You are too officious on her behalf that scorns your services. Let her alone. Speak not of Helena.
Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou dare to try what's right of thine mind is most in Helena.
Follow, nay, I'll go with thee, cheat my jowl.
You mistress! All this coil is long of you. Nay! Go not back!
I will not trust you. I no longer stay in your company. Your hands and mine may be quicker for a trade, but my legs are longer though. Do run away!
I am amazed and know not what to say.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistake, or else commit thy knaveries willfully.
Believe the king of devils! I mistook. Did not you tell me I should know the command by the eternity of God?
Thou see these lovers seek a place to fight? Hie therefore, Robin, overcast the night, and leave these testy rivals so astray, as one come not within the other's way, till o'er their brows death counterfeiting sleep, with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep. And then crush this herb into Lysander's eye, to take from thence all air with his might, and make his eyeballs roll with wonted sight. And when they next awake, all this derision shall seem a dream or fruitless vision. And whiles I in this affair do thee employ, I'll to my queen and beg her Indian boy. And then I will her charmed eye release from monster's view, and all things shall be peace.
Up and down, up and down. I lead them up and down. I am feared and feared in town. Goblin lead them up and down. Here comes one.
Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now.
Here, villain, drawn and ready. Where art thou?
I will be with thee straight.
Come with me then, plain ground.
Lysander, speak again. Thou runaway, thou coward, art thou fled? Speak, in some bush, where dost thou hide thy head?
Come, repeat, come, I'll whip thee with the rod. He's the file that draws a sword on thee.
Yea, art thou there?
Follow my voice, we'll try no manhood here. He goes before me and still dares me on. When I come where he calls, then he is gone. The villain is much lighter heeled than I. I followed fast, but faster he did fly. I followed him in a dark uneven way, but he will arrest me. Come, thou gentle day, for but if once thou show me thy great light, I'll find Demetrius, and revenge this spite. Ho, 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 coward, why come thou not?
Abide me if thou dare, for well I wot, thou runnest before me, shifting every place, and darest not stand nor look me in the face. Where art thou now?
Come hither, I am here.
Nay, then thou mock me. Thou shalt buy this deer, if ever I thy face by daylight see. Now go thy way! Faintness constrains me to measure out my length on this cold bed. My days approach, look to be visited.
Oh, weary night, oh, long and tedious night. Abate thy hour, find comforts from the east, that I may back to Athens by daylight. From these, that my poor company detest, and sleep, that sometimes shuts up sorrow's eye, steal me away from mine own company.
Yet but 3? Come, one more. 2 of both kinds makes up 4. Here she comes, cursed and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad. Thus, we're making poor females mad.
Never so weary, never so in woe, bedabbled with dew and torn with briars. I can no further crawl, no further go. My legs can keep no pace with my desires. Here will I rest me till the break of day. Heaven's shield, Lysander, if they mean affray.
On the ground. Sleep sound. I apply to your eye gentle lover remedy. When thou wakest, let thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye. Jack shall have Jill. Not shall go ill.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek smooth head, and kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy.
Where's Peas Blossom?
Ready?
Peas Blossom, scratch my head. Where's Cobweb?
Ready?
Cobweb, fetch me a honey bag. Where's Mustard Seed?
What's your will?
Nothing good, Mustard Seed, but to help Cobweb to scratch. You see, methinks I must to the barber's, for I'm marvelously hairy about the face, and I'm such a tender ass. If my ear would tickle me, I must scratch.
Why wilt thou hear some music, my sweet love?
have a reasonable good ear of music. Let's have the tongs and the bones.
Or, say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Truly a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire to a bottle of hay. Good hay, sweet hay, hath no fellow.
I have a venturous fairy that shall seek the squirrel's hoard and fetch thee new nuts.
I'd rather have a handful or two of dried peas. But I pray, let none of your people stir. I have an exposition of sleep upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone and be always away. Oh, how I love thee. Oh, how I dote on thee.
Welcome, good Robin. See thou this sweet sight? Dotage now I do begin to pity. For meeting her of late behind the woods, I did upbraid her and fall out with her. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. And, good Robin, take off this transforming scalp off the head of this Athenian swain, that he awakening when the others do, may all to Athens back again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents, but as the fierce vexation of a dream. But first I will wake my fairy queen. Be as thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Now, my Titania, awake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon! What visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
How came these things to pass? Oh, how mine eyes do loathe his visage now.
Silence a while. Robin, take off this transforming scalp. Titania, music call and strike more dead than common sleep of all these five of the sense.
Music, oh music, such as charmeth sleep.
When thou wakest, with thine own fool's eyes peep.
Sound music. Come, my queen, take hand with me. Let us rock the ground whereon these sleepers be.
Fairy king, attending mark. I do hear the morning lark.
Then, my queen, in silence sad, trip we after night's shade.
Come, my lord, and in our flight tell me how it came this night that I sleeping here was found with these mortals on the ground.
Go, one of you, find out the forest. For now, our observations are performed. My love shall be the music of my hounds. What's off? What things are these?
My lord, this is my daughter here asleep. And this Lysander, this Demetrius is, and this Helena. Oh, there's Helena. I wonder of their being here together.
No doubt they rose up early to observe the rite of May and came here in grace of our solemnity.
But speak, Aegeus, is not this the day that Hermia should give answer of her choice?
It is, my lord.
Go, wake them with their horns. Good morrow, friends.
St. Valentine's is past. Begin these wood birds but a couple now.
Pardon, my lord and lady.
I pray you all, stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle concord in the world, that hatred is so far from jealousy, to sleep by hate and fear no enmity?
My lord, I shall reply amazedly, half sleep, half waking, but as yet I cannot truly say how I came here. I came with Hermia hither. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might without the peril of the Athenian law.
Enough, my lord. You have enough. I beg the law upon his head. They would have stolen away, they would. Demetrius, they're about to defeat you and me.
Huh?
You of your wife and me of my consent.
Huh?
Of my consent that she should be your wife.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood, and I in fury hither follow them. Fair Helen in fancy following me. But my good lord, I wot not by what power, but by some power it is. My love to Hermia melted as the snow, and all the faith, the virtue of my heart, and the object and the pleasure of mine eye is only Helena. To her, my lord, was I betrothed, there I saw Hermia. But like in sickness did I loathe this food, but as in health comes my natural taste, now I do wish it, love it, long for it, and will forevermore be true to it.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Of this discourse we will hear more anon.
Aegeus, I will overbear your will. For in the temple, behind thy, with us these couples shall be eternally knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3. We'll hold a great feast in solemnity. Come, to pause.
These things seem small and undistinguishable, like far-off mountains turned into clouds.
Methinks I see these things with parted eye when everything seems double.
So many things. And I have found Demetrius like a jewel. My own and not my own.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. Do not you think the Duke was here and bid us follow him?
Yea, and my father.
And Hippolyta?
And he did bid us follow him to the temple.
Why that we are awake? Let's follow him, and by the way, let us recount our dreams.
When my cue comes, call me and I will answer. My next is most fair Pyramus. Hey ho. Peter Quince.
Wait!
Snout the tinker? Snug the joiner? Starveling? God's my life. Stolen hence and left me asleep. I've had a most rare vision. I've had a dream. Past the wit of man to say what dream it was. Man is but an ass if he were to expound upon my dream. Methought I was... No man can tell what methought I was. And methought I had... But man is but a patched fool if he were to offer to say what methought I had. The eye of man hath not heard. The ear of man hath not seen. The hand cannot taste. The tongue conceive. Nor his heart report what my dream was. I'll get Peter Quince to write a ballad of the street, and it shall be called Bottom's Dream, for it hath no bottom.
Have you sent to Bottom's house? Has he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. Out of doubt, he is transported.
If he come not, then the play is marred. It goes not forward. Doth it?
It is not possible. You have not a man in all of Athens able to discharge Pyramus but ye.
No. He has simply the best wit of any handicraftsman in Athens.
Masters, the Duke is coming from the temple, and he has 2 or 3 lords and ladies, more married. If our sport had gone forward, we had all been made men.
Oh, sweet bully Bottom. Thus has he lost 6 pence a day during his life. And the Duke had not given him 6 pence a day for playing Pyramus. I'll be hanged. He would have deserved it. 6 pence a day for Pyramus or nothing.
Where are these lads? Where are these hearts?
Bottom! Almost happy day, almost courageous hour.
Masters, I discourse wonders. But, ask me not what. For if I tell you I am no true Athenian, I'll tell you everything. Right as it fell out.
Let us hear, sweet bottom.
Not a word of me. All I will tell you is that the Duke hath done. Get your apparel together, every man with his part, for the short and long is our play is preferred. And dear actors, eat no onions nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath. And I dare but to hear them say it is a sweet comedy. No more words. Away, go away.
Strange, my Theseus, that these lovers speak of.
More strange than true. Never may believe these antique fables, nor these fairy toys. Lovers and madmen have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason ever comprehends. The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are imagination all compact.
But all the story of the night told over, and all their minds transfigured so together, more witness than fancy's images, and lends itself to something of great constancy, but howsoever strange and admirable.
Here come the lovers, full of joy and mirth. Come now with masks. What revels shall we have to wear away this long age of 3 hours, during our after supper and bedtime? Where's our usual manager of mirth? What revels are at hand? Call Philip, please. Philip,
Here's a brief. How many sports are right? Make choice of what your highness will see first.
battle with the centaurs be sung by a human being with the harp. Really none of that. That have I told my love and glory of my kinsman Hercules.
The thrice 3 muses, mourning for the death of learning, late deceased in beggary. That is some satire, keen and critical, not sorting with a nuptial ceremony.
Titty's brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisby. Merry tragical, Mark. Merry and tragical, Titty's in brief. Hot ice, wondrous strange snow. How shall we find the concord of this discord?
Oh, a play? There is, my lord. Some 10 words, long, which is as brief as I have ever known a play. But by 10 words, my lord, it is too long, which makes it tedious. For in all the play, there's not one word apt, one player fitted. And tragical, my noble lord. Oh, it is. For Pyramus there doth spill himself, which, when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears the passion of loud laughter never shed.
Who are they that do play it?
Hard-handed men that work in Athens here, which never labored in their minds till now, and now have toiled their unbreathed memories with this same play, against your nuptial.
And we will hear it.
No! My noble lord, it is not for you. I have heard it over, and it is nothing, nothing in the world.
I will hear that play, for never anything can be amiss, when simpleness and duty tender it. Go, bring it on. Take your places, ladies.
I love not to see such wretchedness overcharged, and duty in his service perishing.
Why, gentle sweet, you shall see no such thing.
He says they can do nothing in this kind.
The kind are we, to give them things for nothing. Our sport shall be to take what they mistake, and what poor duty cannot do. Noble respect takes in might, not merit.
So please, your grace, the prologue is addressed.
Go, bring it.
Hey. If we offend, it is with goodwill. That you should think we come not to offend, but with goodwill. To show our simple skill, that is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as minding to content you, our true intent is. All for your delight, we are not here. That you should here repent you, the actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know.
This fellow doth not stand upon points.
He hath read his prologue like a rough colt. He knows not to stop.
A good more, my lord. It is not hard to speak, but to speak true.
Indeed, he hath played on his prologue like a child on a recorder, a sow, but not in government.
The speech was like a tangled chain, nothing impaired, but all disordered. Who is next?
Gentles! Perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth makes all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, Thisby is. Certain. This man, with lime and rough cast, doth present wall. that vile wall which did these lovers sunder, and through wall's cheek full of souls, they are content to whisper. As the witch let no man wonder. This man with lantern, dog, and bush of thorns presented moonshine. For, if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Nidus' tomb! There to live. This grisly beast, which lion flanked by name, the trusty Thisby, coming first by night, did scare away.
Roar!
Or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion vile with bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes Pyramus, sweet and tall, and finds his trusty Thisby's mantle slain. Whereat with blade, with bloody blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast. And Thisby, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse. Well, here they do remain.
No wonder if a lion be to speak. No wonder, my lord, one lion may, when many asses do.
In this same interlude doth befall that I once now by name present a wall, and such a wall that I would have you think that had in it a cranny hole and chink, through which the lovers Pyramus and Thisby did whisper often very secretly, this low, this rough gasp, this that I in that same wall. The truth is so, and the cranny is right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Would you desire wise and hair to speak better? It is the wittiest partition that ever I heard discourse, my lord.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence.
O grim-looked night, O night, with you so black, O night, which ever art when day is not, O night, alack, 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 I fear my Thisby's promise is forgot. And thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, that stand between her father's ground and mine, thou, O wall, O sweet, O lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Thanks, courteous wall. Jove shall be well for this. But what see I? No Thisby do I see. O wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss, cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, in truth, sir, he should not. Deceiving me is Thisby's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through the wall. You shall see it shall full hat, as I told you, yonder she comes.
Oh, wall! Full often hast thou heard my moans, imparting my fair Pyramus in me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones, thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink, and I can hear my Thisby's face. Thisby!
My love, thou art my love. I think.
Think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace, and like Commander, am I trusty still.
And I like heaven, till fates me kill.
Wilt thou at Ninny's tomb?
Nidus' tomb!
Meet me straightway.
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
And wall my part discharged so, and now because away wall doth go.
Now is the mural down between the two neighbors.
No remedy when walls are so willful to hear without warning.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I heard.
The best in this kind are but shadows. The worst of no worse if imagination men know.
It must be your imagination then and not theirs.
Here come two noble beasts in, a man and a lion.
You ladies, you whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough in wildest rage doth roar, then know that I, one snug the joiner, am a lion fell, nor else no lion's dam. For if I should as lion come in strife into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast, of a good conscience.
The very best of the beasts, my lord, that ever I saw.
This lion is the very fox for his valor.
True, and a goose for his discretion.
This lanthorn doth the horn and moon present.
Let us listen to the moon.
This lanthorn doth the horn and moon present. Myself, the man and the moon do seem to be.
This is the greatest error of all the rest. The man should be put into the lanthorn. How will see the man in the moon?
He dares not come in there for the candle.
I am aweary of this moon. Would he would change.
Proceed, moon.
All that I have to say is to tell you that this lanthorn is the moon. I, the man in the moon. This thorn bush, my thorn bush. And this dog, my dog.
Why, all these should be in the lanthorn, for all these are in the moon. But silence, here comes Thisby.
This is all that is too.
Nine is two!
Where is my love?
Roar!
Well roared, lion.
Well run, Thisby.
Well shown, moon. Truly the moon shines in good grace.
Well moused, lion.
And then came Pyramus.
I thank thee, moon, for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright. For by thy gracious golden glittering gleams, I trust to take of truest Thisby sight. But stay, O spite! But mark, poor knight, what dreadful dole is here? O dainty duck, O dear, thy mantle good, what stained with blood? Approach ye furies fell, cut thread and drum, quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make a man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
O wherefore, nature, did thou lions spray? For lion here hath devoured my dear, which is, which was, the fairest dame that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come, tears, confound, outsword, and wound the pap of Pyramus. I, that left pap, where heart doth hop, thus I die. Thus. Now am I dead. Now am I fled. My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Moon, take thy flight. Moon, take thy flight. Moon! Now I die. Die! Die! Die!
No die, but an ace for him. He is but one.
He's less than an ace of a man, for he's nothing. He is dead.
With the help of a surgeon, might yet recover and prove him ass.
How chance the moonshine is gone before Thisby comes back and finds her love.
She will find him like starlight. Here she comes. Her passion ends the play.
She shall not use a long one for such a Pyramus. I hope she will be brief.
my love? What? Dead, my dove? O Pyramus, arise! Speak, quite dumb. Dead, a tomb must cover thy sweet eyes, this cherry nose, these yellow cowslip cheeks are gone. Lovers make moan. Oh, sisters three, come to me. His hands as pale as milk, lay them in gore, in which you have shorn and shears his thread of silk. And thus Thisby ends. Farewell, friends. Adieu. Moonshine and lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and wall too. In truth, sir, the wall is down upon their fathers. Would it please you to the epilogue?
No!
Or perhaps a burgomaster dance between two of our companies?
No.
Oh!
No epilogue, I pray you, for your play needs no excuse. Never excuse. For when all the players are dead, there needs none to be blamed.
Mary, if he that writ it had played Pyramus and hanged himself in Thisby's garter, 'twould have been a fine tragedy. And so it is, and quite notably discharged.
But come, your burgomaster, let your epilogue alone. The iron tongue of midnight hath told well. Lovers to bed, 'tis almost fairy time. Fortnight old weed and Sunday, night revels and new dost.
all with weary task fordone, and we fairies that run from the presence of the sun are now frolic. Not a mouse shall disturb this hallowed house.
Through this house give glimmering light, by the dead in drowsy fire. Every elf and fairy sprite hop as light as bird from briar. And this ditty, after me, sing and dance it trippingly.
First, rehearse your song by rote, to each word a warbling note. Then hand in hand with fairy grace, you will sing and bless this place.
Now until the break of day, through this house each fairy stray. So shall all these couples three ever true and loving be. Make no stay, break away, meet me all by break of day.
have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.